All right, we are live. Sean, I think Outback. I think Outback's fair for you buying me dinner. $30 steak. I think that's fair. I didn't. No one gave any suggestions, which was lame.
I'm not buying you dinner.
What do you mean? Hold on.
I've been buying your drinks for the last 2 weeks. I ain't buying you
Like
dinner.
we don't split the bill?
Oh my God,
Outback, I
that
think
is
fair.
laughable.
You don't want to go get a night. I'm not going down that rabbit hole just yet because it's not official yet. But I think that I'm not asking you to take me to Tim Hortons and buy me $100 steak, which is what most people would do for the favor I did for you. I'm asking for a $30 Outback. I gotta hung up that phone. We'll find out in a couple of weeks what we're talking about. We're not gonna dive into it just yet. But I could have hung up that phone and like, oh, I'm sorry, I
How
can't
about
help
the
you.
little favor I did for you?
What was that?
Back in March when I was getting a bunch of calls if something would be okay with me and somebody
That's
said
fair.
how cool it would be and I would have no problems.
Okay, that's fair. I think a dinner though, a nice Outback steak, a cheap Outback steak, or I think Red Lobster would be a good place to celebrate.
No,
We're not
you're
going to Red Lobster?
You're not getting me. You're not getting me to pay for your lobster. If we go to Outback, I'll get you an appetizer. I'll get you a kookaburra wings. I'll get you a bloomin' onion. Actually, maybe not even a bloomin' onion. You want cheese fries? I'll get you a dessert at Outback. You can get a chocolate thunder from down under.
No, I don't want that. You can't buy me a $30 steak.
You want a big $5 beer at Outback? They come very slow, but
I
they're
don't want
good.
a beer. I don't want a beer. No drinks.
Oh God!
No drinks.
You want me to get you an Outback steak?
Yeah, I'm not asking you. Not saying we got to go to Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris. Is it Ruth Chris or Ruth Chris? There's like
Ruth's
Ruth Chris. There we go.
Yeah, Ruth's plural, Chris singular.
I do love Ruth's Chris.
Yes, it's very Ruth's Chris is very nice.
But I'm not asking you to take me there. I'm staying Outback.
I'll get you a knuckle sandwich.
Okay.
Would that work for you?
No, that wouldn't work for me.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, God forbid I'm trying to spitball. Figure it out for you.
Today we've got Hack Bag. We're gonna be talking. We're also gonna talk about Thursday Night Football. That game was kind of. It was interesting, but like at the same time, like we all knew what the outcome was going to be.
It's kind of hard to get into the NFC West at this point in the season. That whole
It
division is just whack right now.
It doesn't heat up until the end of the year, and we don't really know who's actually good. And we know it's the 49ers. The Rams are cooked right now, but we know it's the 49ers. It might be a one-man race amongst a bunch of teams that are
Don't sleep on those Rams yet. They're still fighting. I'll take you to the Hoboken Grill. How about that? I'll get you a full meal at the Hoboken Grill right down the street.
The closed one?
Yeah. We'll go in there.
You asshole.
I'll pop in there. I'll get you a nice meal.
You suck.
Oh, why don't we try this Deer Mod place every time we're going out? Do you want to finally try it? Maybe we'll try it.
No, I don't want to get dinner there. It looks like a good spot for drinks. It looks like where most of the more intelligent and attractive women would go to get drinks.
It's a good
Not
spot.
the crowd that's at McSwiggins. I heard McSwiggins is a good burger, by the way, apparently.
Really? What, you heard that on your date last night?
I was catching up with it was a guy that I used to snap to.
Oh, gotcha.
He was a punter at TCNJ, and when we were both post-college, for like a good year and a half, 2 years, we would snap and he would kick.
Technical College of New Jersey?
The College of New Jersey, yeah. That's what that stands for. The College of New Jersey.
Really?
It's not Rutgers. It's the College of New Jersey, TCNJ. It's Division III program.
I'm not eating at McSwiggins, dog.
So I told him that. He was like, "Oh yeah, the Mondays they've got like a really good burger, and it's like I think it was something. It's only like $5 or something like that." And I'm like, "Yeah." After I saw that cockroach,
oh God, now you were explicitly outing the bar. That's awesome. Look. Just because you squealed in fear.
I didn't squeal in fear. There was a cockroach in a restaurant.
You went, ah!
No, the guy that got up, that it pulled up on him, that was how he reacted.
Yeah,
I simply got up and I said, nope, and I stood up and I stood a couple steps back.
That joker was moving towards you.
Just because you're used to cockroaches pulling up on you doesn't mean you need to give me crap for being a little bit worried about their presence near me.
God forbid I've been able to man up in my life and learn how to deal with bugs and battle them and learn how to set the tone.
I know you got an ant sanctuary going on in your room. I'm afraid to go in your room. I've never touched your room.
My room's nice. I got a nice clean room right now. But look, back home in Virginia, a lot of bugs. I would kill probably 3 bugs a night, and I would leave their corpses up so their friends could see it. even though the pheromones attract more bugs.
That's just okay. So now, not only is it disgusting, but it's illogical.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I hate crickets. Like your
So
roach
you
thing,
you essentially just explained that you like bugs and then you wanted to
No,
attract
no,
as
no,
many
no.
bugs as possible. You
I
don't
hate
sleep
bugs.
when they're crawling all over you.
I hate bugs, but I want to. I hate bugs, but I want to kill them. I
Can we not play?
killing
Is
them.
voicemail really bad?
We're gonna have some fun with the voicemails
Okay.
today
Okay.
during the hack bag.
Okay.
Thank you for everyone that participated. This may be the last week of the voicemails, depending on how it goes.
By the way, before we hit the break here, I bought like a TV console for Prime Day so that I could put my TV on it. It's got like the whole obnoxious LED lighting in it. Over under on how long it takes me to build that thing, because I took out the instructions and it is complicated.
Okay, October 11th, 11:06. Right now, as we were recording, this thing never gets built.
You think I won't?
I have been looking at a suitcase in your room.
Oh, it's gone.
What?
Yeah, because I needed a clear room for this thing.
Okay. Well, okay. Is it gone or is it unpacked?
It's unpacked and then I put it into my closet.
So we moved in here mid-July, and now it's mid-October, and you finally unpacked that suitcase in your room.
Yes.
So I give you until probably February. You get this thing built.
If I hit a wall and I determine that this is going to be too frustrating for me to build, what price point would you be willing to build it if I had
I
to
do it for
approach
free.
that?
I like building things. It's easy.
Fuck you.
It's
I don't
easy
like
for
that.
me.
No.
What do you no? Let me boss up and go build your thing for you.
Yeah. So then you can have something over me.
Yeah.
You can have something over
I'd like
me.
to
That's what that is.
boss the hell up and build this thing for you. You're so
Did you
unhandy.
like the song?
Yeah, there's a lot that we're gonna have to get to.
All right, we got to hit the break. We're all over the place already, which is par for the course on today's show. We've got something coming up at 11:30. We've got the hack bag, all that and more. Let's hit the break.
And now back to your regular programming.
If you speak better to yourself.
You showed up for like probably the dumbest conversation we've ever had on this show.
Let's have that smile again.
Tell me how that happens. Physically should not happen.
Relax.
If you say
Give me as well.
3 times a day, God will line it up.
He's just an absolute hack, and he gets his ass kicked by the teammates every week. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to Hack City. I'm Joe DeLeone. With me is my co-host Sean Anderson, 2 former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. Today we will be talking about the outcome of Thursday Night Football last night between the Seahawks and the 49ers. We've also got, of course, on Fridays, our hack bag to get to, mailbag questions, college football, NFL, whatever it is. If you would like to leave us a voicemail, which we're starting to get more of these and less questions, which I love, 201-834-4308 is the phone line. Call in. Say the weirdest, most unhinged thing that you can possibly think of. That is what the challenge has become. I used to do that on the show that Sean was a producer and now host for the Chad Dukes show. A lot of those did not make air. So if you got a really bad idea, call in. If it's disturbing, we might not play it. If it's borderline, we might. Well, let's see if you can test that boundary. I really encourage everyone to do so. Still waiting on Rack to call in. Sean, before we get into today's pod, what, where,
Why?
how,
Yeah.
when can people bet on BetOnline? I just do
BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for everything sports betting, every stat, matchup, breakdown, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games, with the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, which has been great, MLB. Bob Costas is trying to put everyone to sleep and make a heroic Aaron Judge moment. Look, first of all, Nick Wright was correct.
Being so Michael,
Nick-
I give Michael K credit for standing up for Bob Costas.
Yes.
Why is everyone?
The old guard should stand up for Bob Costas because he's a legend, and I respect Bob Costas, but he has been on a rough tear of calling these games. It's not
too hard on
It's
it.
not growing the game, Joe. He's a legend, and I love Bob Costas, but yeah, it has not been really spectacular broadcasting for the moments that we've been given. NHL, NBA, political props. When the game's over, head on over to their online casino at BetOnline. Get in a game of blackjack, poker, slots, 150 of those slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
What do you think the most obscure political prop that BetOnline has?
Oh, would it be like a
Oh, I get.
treasurer of the state?
Yeah, like can I place bet?
Who's-
Like, I don't
what's-
want to bet on the president. I want to bet on who is going to be the comptroller of Essex County. Like,
Does-
can I do that?
Come on over to Nassau County Day.
I don't see
place
the
your
political-
bets here. Does the attorneys general just roll over, or does it, or is there like a one-on-one that we're faced with every year, or do they just get selected? I don't know.
I
enough
don't.
about that
I know
machine.
nothing about how politics work. Despite the deep ties to my family and also your family. Like I don't. I'm surprised that neither of us have any understanding of.
My family's got no deep
I thought
ties.
wait, but I thought you family members who work for the government, don't they?
Yeah, not in the
Oh,
direct political sense.
Well,
but
not in the
just
political sense, but like you would. I'm just saying that you would think
contracting.
you would think both of us would have a better understanding of how politics work, and neither of us do.
We like sports.
A little too much.
I'd say so.
I don't see the political betting on the. It's got to be somewhere else.
I think it's on a different tab.
Financials.
What are you doing right now?
Sorry. Let's get back focused. We've got a game to talk about. I mean, it's a very legitimate rabbit hole to go down. I wanted to know. All right. Thursday night football. The Seattle Seahawks fell to the San Francisco 49ers, 36-24. Notable stats: Geno Smith, 30 for 52, 312 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Kenneth Walker could not get things going on the ground, 14 for 32 and a tud. Isaac Garendo had the game-sealing long rush, 10 for 99. That dude is fast. Brock Purdy, 3 touchdowns, 18 of 28. I think, and I know that this is kind of a common thread of conversations that we have on this show, and I like when we have these primetime games and we have a team like the Seahawks. I like having these discussions, Sean. What direction do the Seahawks go in? Because right now you can see the bones of a potentially future great team on defense. You can see the bones of a quality offensive line and an effective run game. But I see right now a team that does not have the personnel to run Ryan Grubb's offense, and 2, a team that's maybe not fully as well-rounded as it could be to be as dominant as they can every single week on defense. Giving up 36 points and some of the big rushing gains that they allowed, not great. I think that the one biggest thing here, it's potentially having hurt them not drafting a quarterback last class when they were in a position to do so. And now I beg the question of, do they jump to this coming year? Do they try to make a move and move up to figure out their future?
You see, I thought the conversation was going to go to, is Brock Purdy elite after
No,
255
I
yards and 3
am not
touchdowns?
talking about Brock Purdy.
That's what I thought that the general conversation was going to be. But
Y'all do this all the time. Y'all want to glaze a dude because he goes for 255 and 3 touchdowns. And
that's a good defensive backfield for.
He had a nice game, man. But like that's not the talking point. We're talking about a first-year head coach in a new regime. Pete Carroll was there for 1,000,000 years. Geno Smith, I think that he's competent and he's a quality quarterback.
We've seen his ceiling.
We've seen his ceiling. I think that he would benefit ending up on a roster that's more ready to win at the current moment, and the Seahawks are not in that situation. The 3-0 start was all great and dandy, but to lose 3 in a row is starting to show the true colors of what their potential is this season.
You know, I think it just is the quarterback. Geno Smith would be a great stopgap for a team that would want to get like the 17th pick in the NFL draft, because he's going to win you way more games, I think, than he loses you games. Last night, it was a pretty fun comedy of errors from Geno, and I'm rooting for Geno. He still has a big arm. He can still take off out of the pocket if he needs to. I love when the Microsoft Surfaces get abused on the sidelines. Geno Smith with an all-timer, a quadruple bash on the forehead from one of those things after an interception. That was spectacular. The Seahawks have a lot of really good pieces, though. Walker is a really good running back. Charbonnet has proven himself to be a really good backup running back in the league, a 1-2 punch. Lockett, I didn't even realize this, Joe. It was mentioned on the broadcast last night. 10th year in the league. He doesn't look like a 10th year wide receiver. He's still got quickness and burst.
Well, the funny thing with him is that he looks like he's 26 when he's running, but then when he's kind of just jogging, he looks 40.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who's just like, how old is he again?
I like DK is still solid. The Noah Fant trade, I guess they just traded for a blocker.
DK had a huge play that got called back, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm sure he's pissed. And there was, I don't know when there was a clip that was circulated like, oh, DK's frustrated, which is so hacky social media thing to do.
Yeah, football players get frustrated when their touchdowns get called back.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
But I really think that Seattle is building something strong. I mean, Tariq Woolen, who everyone has to call Reek Woolen now because that's just a cool shortening of a name. But Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon are legit corners in the league with speed and coverage ability. And Witherspoon is just a hitter. Like, he will just thump you. So, I mean, if they shore up the offensive line, I think they need a center. I think they need a left guard, right guard. Charles Cross, I think, played okay last night. They're doing okay.
Yeah, young guy. He's been getting progressively better.
They're 2 years away. If they draft a quarterback this year, maybe they do another year of Geno, swap. Maybe Sam Howell gets some burn. I don't see how that would really improve. I think they're about the same quarterback in their capacity to win football games. But, if they draft the guy, let him learn an NFL offense, come in, and then Seattle could be a team to really challenge an NFC West that is wide open at times, especially early in the season.
It's one of these questions, and the reason why we're bringing it up is I don't think it's as simple as tear it down, start over from scratch, and let's move forward. I think that there's a complex decision for them to make this offseason. Do you think that you have the capacity to be what the Vikings are at the current moment? The Vikings, the problem is, and this is what the conversation will be the whole offseason if the Vikings continue this current rush of success that they have, is that it's an exception to a rule. It's going to be the new assumption that, hey, look, you can win and be successful while you're developing your young quarterback. It's an exception. Look at how many other times that has not panned out and worked. It's the constant fallacy that general managers, coaches, and even fans catch themselves in is that you see one example and you assume that it's going to produce results if you try it again. Instead, you got to look at the trends that produce consistent results. That is how you build teams. So right now for the Seahawks case is, do you trust Geno enough that if you continue to bolster the roster, that you will get to that spot of being the best team in the NFC West? I think no. And I think that what we saw from him yesterday is that he still has a big arm, like you just mentioned. He still is a great quality quarterback. If you need him to start in any situation, he can. They were moving the ball, and then the 2 picks that he had were backbreaking. They took them out of the game.
Yeah,
I'm not solely blaming him for those mistakes, but getting picked off, I believe it was both of them were to rookies, correct?
I think
It was Mustafa, and then who was the other kid who picked them off?
Hafunga was out, so I think it was their backup safety that might have been a rookie. Because
Mustafa was one of the who was playing for Hafunga, and he was one of the guys who had the
look. That Niners defense is filthy.
Bernardo Green was the other cat who had the pick.
I wouldn't envy any quarterback that has to play against Fred Warner and the wreckage that he creates as a middle linebacker. I know everyone talks about him like for 5 minutes at the beginning of a game. Well, you got to keep an eye out for big 5'4". He makes crazy plays aside from the interceptions, aside from the sacks. Like, he split a screen yesterday between 2 offensive linemen on 3rd down, shut it down and forced a punt. And that screen against, I think, any other middle linebacker in the NFL goes for 10 and a first down, and that drive continues as a big chunk play. But his knowledge of the game is so impressive, and I think they just had Geno's number. I think that defense was dialed. They knew the looks that they wanted to give to be able to get him to throw interceptions. I think it all stems from 5'4", doing his job and having everybody exactly where they need to be. He is so impressive, just from tackling ability, knowledge of the game, reading an offense, that he still isn't talked about enough. So Geno, I'll knock 1 pick off his game just for the Fred Warner factor of having people where they need to be. But other than that, Geno's going to get you 10 wins at best a season, 6 wins at worst, and you're not going to be able to be in an advantageous draft position with Geno Smith as your quarterback, which better, and the career resurrection for him has been great. Watching him in New York
absolutely.
and watching in New York, both times you're sitting here, oh, he's just going to be a journeyman backup. Career is shot. He got a chance in Seattle. Everyone was fired up. Comeback player of the year. Oh, Geno should be a Pro Bowler. No, Geno is a quarterback that will win games and can hit open receivers, which is at bare minimum what you need in the NFL.
I really badly wanted them to take Michael Penix.
It would have been great.
If Penix didn't go as early as he did and he was still hanging around the teens, man, that would have been really fun to track, because it would have been an easy transition from Geno to Penix after 1 year of letting him sit, seeing what the results were, and then he's back with his offensive coordinator. I'm wondering.
And he's a Washington hero already.
Right. I'm just wondering like what the future holds for this team, and we're gonna have a little more clarity on what they're gonna be able to do this offseason based on where they're drafting. Something to track. I don't think there's really a set answer at the current moment for what the Seahawks can do to turn things around. I don't think things are over, but the reality of setting in first-year head coach, roster holes, trying to get your guys, it could be an 8-9 season.
Yeah, the smart thing, draft quarterback, draft offensive line. Dumb thing to do, draft a defensive tackle in the first round. That is how these teams that want to get better and better with depth, let's get a big, strong D tackle. It don't work. It doesn't work. Get some O-line. Get a quarterback.
I forgot that was who they took. That they took Byron Murphy.
Who's been good? Byron Murphy has been solid this year.
Yeah, you actually bring up a really good point.
But
It's like, I wonder why they're not. And you got ran all over too, and it's like, oh man, he's not the sole reason, but like, man, y'all needed to address other positions before you're jumping on defensive tackle.
It's just such an easy look at this game record, beating up on a redshirt freshman offensive lineman that had to come in because the starting senior went out or took the year off. And he had 3 sacks in this game. Look at this world beater. It's the NFL. Everyone's as strong as each other on the front on the front lines. You have to get the offensive line shored up. You need to.
All right, we're gonna jump to the hack bag before at 11:30. We've got something or someone coming up. Here we go. First, I'm afraid to play the first one.
Well, play the production first, and then we'll get to the
mail never stops.
This is the Hack Bag. Hit us on Twitter for questions or call at 201-834-4308.
Welcome back to the Hack Bag. Listeners can send in their questions. You heard the phone number. First question that we have, voicemail.
Yeah, this is Max Chadwick. I was told that Joe DeLeone is slandering me on YouTube. I hope you don't understand that I am the lead college football analyst at PFF, and if he is trying to slander my name, my lawyers will be involved. Also, he's really ugly. Ugly dude. Gives New Jersey a very bad name.
Yeah, I wonder who left that one. I really wonder who.
Goodbye.
Don't cut off Max. Jeez.
That's not Max.
I'm sorry to hear that, Max. That's rough. You know what? I thought that Joe may have gone a little bit over the line last week. But yeah, thanks for calling in, and maybe we'll we'll get in touch.
First thing that Ryan texted me this morning was that I showed my wife. He showed his wife like a portion of their show, and the first thing that she said is like, "Why is he trying to copy Joe?"
Oh wow! You know, like I said, I'm on your side here.
The more people I show this to, the more people that are on my side.
You know what? I can't believe he called in. I can't believe
it's not him.
What do you mean?
Hey, Sean and Joe, long time, fourth time. It's Danny, and I'm just calling to, I hope the echo thing is fixed. On last show, there's been a bit of an echo situation going on. I just wanted to call in to say thanks for bringing Hack of the Week back.
Of course.
I think I'd also like to shout out Detroiters. I mean, honestly, it's been a couple weeks since I rewatched that show, but
Stream of Consciousness?
There you go.
It's kind of the best. It's like I Think You Should Leave, right?
How long is this?
Minute 54.
It's got that guy on it, right? Same dude.
That guy, yeah.
And Sam too. I can't remember.
Sam.
his last name, but anyways, it's like a serialized show, but I think you should leave. Yeah. I think it's on Amazon Prime. You might have to have Stars. I can't remember. You can probably steal it online. I mean, don't do that. But anyways, that show's great.
Where's he walking?
I'll probably rewatch it more than I Think You Should Leave. Sketch, not really sketch comedy. It's pretty serialized. They go around. They do funny jokes. It's pretty funny. And I also like to shout out Doctor Who, getting back into that.
Nope, not a Doctor Who fan.
No,
and
is there still an echo, by the way? I
TV
need to know from
I'd like to shout that out too. I love that we're kind of in a golden age of TV, and it's all pretty available online. And I've started to realize that the longer I'm going on, the more I'm talking like Sean. So I better hang up before I get in to work and they're asking me, am I even from here? So thanks, Hex, and yeah.
Echo's still there. Damn. We're gonna have to try routing it through your phone.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I don't know. It doesn't. There's no echo on our end when we play other sounds. the same way there's no echo. That's bizarre.
Well, I'm glad that we share our love for Detroiters, Danny.
Do you watch Detroiters?
I've seen it, yes. It's funny.
Is this another one of those shows that you watch the clips on YouTube?
No. This is a show that I would actually watch full episodes of. Yeah, it's solid. It's a good TV show. I think you should leave before. I think you should leave. A lot of the premises. I mean, the Cramblin Motors stuff that was fantastic. And then, if you want to, he left another voicemail.
Okay, well,
expanding on that.
Well, how would it be too tough at the current moment to quickly transition to try and play it through your phone, or is it not worth it? We just play through it with the echo.
How would I get it off my phone right now?
Do you have a cable?
No, my adapter is not.
Never mind. Sorry, guys. We're gonna have to just power through with the echo. So really, we're gonna figure it out. We messed around with it last night, and it's super weird because the function and the way that we're playing the sounders, the transitions, there's no echo on the playback. They sound super clean, but then for some reason when we play the same exact function, there's the echo on the voicemail. So I'm not sure what that. I don't know if it's because we're sitting too close to the mics or something. Like, I don't know what that is.
No, we weren't that. It can't be feedback from our headphones because they're not cranked up that high.
Okay. All right, let's get next one.
Hey, Hacks, it's Danny again, long time, fifth time. And I wanted to do the guys justice
keeping track
on Detroiters. It's Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson. They're the ones who star in that TV show. Only 2 seasons, real big shame.
God, I love Dan.
Harbaugh also shows up in one of the episodes. Good show. Still recommend. But anyways, I wanted to give a conversation topic about FCS here. And there's kind of a conversation we haven't seen much because there isn't a huge front runner like there has been in years past. But picking a team versus the field, right? Usually it'll be Jacks or it'll be Bison for the field, but this year with it being kind of split pretty evenly among kind of the top 3, I guess, teams. I wanted to know how many teams, starting from the top, working your way down in terms of team quality, would you pick before you would pick the field? You know, would you go Jacks versus the field? If not, then, you know, Jacks and Bison versus the field, or Jacks, Bison, Bobcats in the field. I don't know how far down you have to go before you determine, you know, I'll take the teams over the field. But, yeah, I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Thanks.
So first of all, these are the types of questions that I love, or the voicemails that I love. Please just send as many stream of consciousness voicemail as you possibly can. Again, we're going to fix the issues with the echo. That could not have hit the nail on the head more for what we want every single week. Just whatever you're thinking, just call in. I want somebody. Can somebody call in while they're ordering at a drive-thru? I want somebody to do that one week.
I think that
Dan could do that. I feel like Dan's got that in him.
I like that Dan forgot the actors' names in the first voicemail and decided to send a second one and clarify it. I'm guessing when he got to his desk and was able to look them up.
What was the question? I got so distracted by the quality of the voicemail that what was the question?
It was which FCS teams versus the field would you be able to take right now? Like, I think he said, you know, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana State. I think it's all 3 of those teams versus the field at this moment. Montana State is a wagon, and they got a huge test this week, and that could change everything. South Dakota State is South Dakota State, legit, dominant, world beaters, and with a fantastic program. And North Dakota State, more offensive viability this year and vitality than in recent years. But if Cam Miller can stay healthy, then that is paramount.
Yeah, I think outside of those 3 teams, Montana State, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, I think that there is a huge lack of clarity, especially with the injuries that Idaho's been dealing with, all of those things. I'm sticking with that, that run of squads. Last one. Oh my God, I'm disturbed.
Hey, everybody sing along. This is a Beaver theme song. There's a guy named Beaver, but his real name's Brandon. He's always building dams. Oh yeah, that's his.
Is there an instrument in the background?
With a unique voice and questions galore, he'll leave everyone wondering what's in store. Oh,
this
Beaver.
Isn't Colin.
Yeah, that's his name. Oh, Beaver. Oh, Beaver.
This is terrible.
With a
What
voice
the hell?
like no other Beaver. Asking questions, causing a stir like a curious brother. Hey,
Who is this?
It's a shoehorn. Let it run. Let it ride.
How long is this?
It's like 2 minutes.
No, we're not listening to the full 2 minutes. I'm not listening to the full 2 minutes.
The best part, they start cracking each other up in the background, singing that stupid Beaver themes. I'm sick of the Beaver.
You know what this feels like? It feels like it feels like interdimensional cable from Rick and Morty. It feels like we're in like another. Someone called in from another dimension with a reference to something that we don't know what the hell they're talking about. It gets progressively stranger every single time. I don't know what to say to that. What do you say to that?
You had a nice voice. You could carry a tune, but the you know what? It felt like some of the lyrics are shoehorned. If you flesh out a real, Colin, that wasn't you. That couldn't have been you singing.
I know what you sound like. That wasn't you singing.
I think Ron nailed it. Southern Appalachian music. That's that tone that I'm used to. So I don't have Beaver fever.
Should I sneeze right into the microphone?
You won't sneeze right into the mic. You wouldn't dare do that.
Yeah, that was disturbing. We have, as promised, at 11:31, a minute late, we're getting to Hack of the Week, and we've got a physical embodiment of Hack of the Week. Ryan, how you doing today?
What's up, guys? What's up? I don't. You guys can't make fun of me like that, all right?
What? What do you mean? Well,
we saved this segment for you.
Yeah, we canceled Hack of the Week because we knew that you were coming on today.
No, you can't say that I'm a minute late. I mean, I'm just, you know.
Oh, you were.
I had some stuff. It was actually Joe's fault. I was talking to Sean about this yesterday, but I was literally. I could have set this entire hour aside. And then Joe was like 11:30 to 11:45. So then Sean texted me yesterday. Was like, "Hey, are you coming on tomorrow?" I was like, 11:30, right? And then I'm just like,
"Oh, this is Sean's fault. It
was like back and forth." And I'm just like, Joe literally told me 11:30 to 11:45, so I scheduled things around 11:30 to 11:45. So this is absolutely your fault.
This is his fault. This is Sean's fault. Sean, we were in the
Ryan.
The
he forgot you were coming on the show.
That's
by
not
the way.
true. That's not
I
true.
was just trying to confirm that you were coming on.
This has been a long time coming though, because Ryan has presented us a lot of interest in joining in on these stupid conversations that we have. So today, for the 15 minutes that we have you, we wanted to talk about the Talk Tua podcast. Have you been tuning in for the past? You haven't been tuning in? I don't know what we're going to talk about for 15 minutes.
Am I echoing? Someone says I'm echoing. I don't know what this is.
Are you?
Not in our ears.
Huh.
Who said you're echoing?
In the chat.
Jamie
People are
did.
saying it all over the place.
I don't understand. What is with the StreamYard?
Yeah, I am not sure.
Should I hop out and then hop back in?
No, because I think that yeah, hop out and hop back in.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. I
know I have echo cancellation on. I know you have echo cancellation on.
And we're not hearing it. That's what's confusing, is that, like, I'm sure a lot of people enjoy.
Hold on.
What?
Echo cancellation is not on. Anything. Let's see. I would assume it's not something as trivial as that. I think it's got to do something with the board and the virtual cable and stuff like that. But
love technology.
We'll see.
Okay, we're gonna try this one more time.
Let's try it again. I don't hear an echo on my end, so I think
this is what's confusing. Of course, my joke that I was trying to make didn't land.
What was the joke? Say the joke again.
It wasn't a joke. It was a bad joke. I wanted to talk about the Talk to a podcast, but
I don't listen to any of that stuff. I know the girl said some weird sexual things one time about spitting on things. Otherwise, I don't know anything about it.
Okay, well that looks like that solved the issue, by the way.
All right, way to be.
That was the explanation and breakdown of the Talk to a podcast. That was all I needed from you, Ryan, and that you summed it up absolutely perfectly.
She spit on that thing or something. I don't know. Something like
Ryan, you're saying you're not sitting there with your family watching that golden media,
I saw it flash on my phone one time on Twitter, Sean. I listened to it. And then I was like, all right, I need to never look at this again, because my wife will be like, why are you listening to that type of stuff? And I'll be like,
I think after your kids go to bed tonight, I think you need to put it on full blast.
I'm not.
You don't think your wife would get into that? You couldn't give it a shot?
I don't know. I wonder if my wife knows what that is. She probably doesn't. I'd be almost shocked if she knew what that was. That's like a Twitter. That has to be. That's like a pure
not
Twitter.
Chronically online like the rest of us.
Yeah, but like, do people talk a lot about the Hawk Tua thing outside of like Twitter space?
Former NFL scouts do.
Yeah.
Who?
Wait, does he? Does
Who?
Daniel Kelly actually?
Yeah, I was just doing a Daniel Kelly bit.
Oh,
Ryan, give that man his flowers. He was a former NFL scout. Goodness, I'm tired of seeing you tell him he's not.
I don't want to talk about this anymore, man. And that's hack of the week. I mean, that's hack of like the
well, he's the hack of the,
it's a permanent hack right
hack
there.
of the year. I would love to spend time talking into your random vendettas with people on Twitter, but we should actually talk a little bit of ball here. I want to jump in on this discussion we were just having with the Seahawks, because we're going to post today for the first team right after this show ends is going to go up, the conversation that you and I had on the current quarterback market. The Seahawks right now, I think, kind of showed a little bit of proof that they need to figure out what the long-term future is. And I don't think that Geno has proven that he's somebody who for the next 5 years will be there and will play in Grubb's offense and lead to long-term success. But what the heck do they do here? Like, what do you think is the best situation with so much uncertainty in this quarterback class? Do you punt again to next year? Do you go for another veteran? Do you hope that things work with Geno?
Well, I think his quarterback class has a decent amount of depth to it. I know there's a lot of questions up top, but I would think of it similarly to what New Orleans did this offseason, where they had a mid-round investment in like someone like a Spencer Rattler. Like, you still know that Geno's good. Derek Carr is at least serviceably solid, if nothing else, right? So like, roll with Geno till the wheels fall off, and you invest in the mid rounds until you have to invest in the first round. Like, I don't think Geno's been pretty dang good. Didn't Geno go into the game last night like leading the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns? Like, he was playing very good football before the game last night.
He's still Geno though.
Yeah, but like, wait, Wilson,
he's also a cheap quarterback though. Like, you don't have
right.
to,
That's true. We have to pay attention to who he was racking up all those stats against. Like, he did that against the Broncos in week 1 when they were still
great defense. Amazing.
Great defense, but before they were a little slow to get going. They did against the Patriots, which is still
great defense.
Not a great defense.
It's a good
Patriots defense is not a great defense. They have Christian Gonzalez and Christian Barmore. Other than that, they don't have
a great player, man. Great player, yeah.
A completely hapless and dead Miami Dolphins team, and then they got kind of worked by. And also,
the garbage. The Miami Dolphins are a tragedy on defense.
There's also necessary important context here too, that like his yardage that he racked up against the Lions, they were down big, and he had to kind of help them climb their way back into it. He threw for 395 against the Lions. So I think that context is a little bit important. He's been good, and this is the conversation that we had before you hopped on here, is that he's been good and he's been competent. But I think you kind of have to have a little bit of a desire, if you are a Seahawks fan, to have someone that's a little bit more than just slightly above average. And this is the trap that we kind of find ourselves in all the time with quarterbacks.
But I think he gives you a floor though, right? A floor of like at least solid to good NFL starting quarterback. So that's why I say, like, if I'm them, and let's say there's a quarterback, a really toolsy kid in the second or third round, or maybe even after that, like, that's where I would take like kind of a plunge on like a mid-round talented quarterback that I can develop behind him. Cause then that's where you raise your ceiling of a room ultimately, right? With talent overall. So I think you ride the floor though, as long as you can, is as far as like just being strategic, because he's a not expensive investment. Like, we can sit back and say, like, you probably need to get better than Geno, and you might be actually 100% true on that. But Geno also isn't bad, and he's not costing you a lot of money, right? Like, you're not breaking the bank. And so I think maintaining that floor is not a bad thing. It might allow you to take a mid-round gamble on a player.
That's what makes the conversation, I think, just so complicated. And that was literally the point that we had, is there's two answers, but there's no right one. It's what you just talked about, keeping the guy that's cheaper, hoping that you can continue to build around him. I look at their offensive line's fine. It could get better. The receiving room should be one of the most productive in the NFL, and their running back room's pretty good. So I look at the way that they've played. It's just, it's underwhelming that they can't stay in these games with a team like the 49ers. They're not going to be stiff in the playoffs if they don't get better.
Speaking of stiff, can you believe that they're starting Stone Forsythe at right tackle right now? I know they have injuries up front, but like, holy God, bro, how are they starting Stone Forsythe at right tackle right now? It is bad. It's real bad.
Ryan, I think we'd be remiss to not have any football prospect questions, and Jamie had one in the chat for you. Does JMU have anybody with a draftable grade on their team currently this season?
They're a big FCS like harboring team. Like they've just been completely mining the FCS for guys. You and I text all the time about this. You love texting me like, hey, here's this random guy I told you to watch film on 2 years ago that you said was really stiff. Look, he's the backup defensive end.
Oh yeah, Joe hated the running back that's at Pitt that was at Western Carolina.
No.
Joe was not a big Desmond Reed guy.
No, I just said that I don't think he's an NFL. Like, I don't think he's a top NFL player. Like, he'll probably get a shot. I mean, he's
top 50 player.
Hands.
Easy.
All right, you suck.
Player. James Madison, though, I'll say this, Jamie. I know it's not directly related to this team that we're talking about in 2024, but I mean, you can still claim like Elijah Surratt that's at Indiana now, right? Like, we can still claim Eden Fisher at Indiana, can't we?
Slippery slope to start. No, come on. That's a slippery slope to start running down. They're like, well, this guy played for us.
Elijah Surratt's a pretty good player, man. I think he's a draftable level wide receiver for Indiana. And then they have the Aiden Fisher kid who's I think he's only a junior, so he's not going to be in 2025. But like, they have a couple guys that are at least in the pipe. Like, they have a couple guys that were at one time a part of the James Madison JMU program that are going to play in the NFL. Yes, there are.
Sean, can you lower our headphones just a little bit more? I think that's where the echo was. I seriously think that was where the echo was coming from.
I doubt it. I think.
Am I too loud? Would you like?
No. You're not. It's just technical rigmarole that we deal with. You and I have the show that you and I do, Sean, or not Sean. Ryan is farm. See, now this is really confusing. I mix your guys' name up all the time. Now I've got both of your heads on the screen. I don't know who I'm talking.
Welcome to the first team. I'm Joe DeLeone with Sean Anderson. Oh no, let's try it again. Let's try.
Do you know that Joe does a show called Rufino and Joe? Did you know about that show?
I've heard about it once or twice.
He mentions it every single podcast.
I have a lot of takes on that show that I like to reference that I point out on other shows. We're much more positive on your.
He also has a radio spot after this, guy. So we need to get off pretty quick.
You guys stink.
My favorite, Ryan, is I've got a radio spot. I have to take it in the living room. So, Sean, you can't go take a shower.
I don't take them in the living room
because the acoustics in my bedroom aren't good enough.
Look, to get back to what we're talking about here, you and I are much more positive when we talk about prospects, Ryan. This show, we're much more negative about a lot of things.
I haven't noticed.
One early prospect that you're really low on that you would kind of classify as overrated so far that's been talked about a ton for 2025.
There are two players that I have coined this way, and we do this every single year, where they are talented, but I would not draft them. I just wouldn't. Like, I would let someone else draft them. Walter Nolan from Ole Miss is my number one this year, where you can have him, dude. He would probably even grade out as a top 50-ish type of player for me, just based upon what I see on film, but I would not draft that kid. I just wouldn't. Takes too many plays off. Yes, he's incredibly explosive. Yes, he's flexible. Cool. There's 15, 20 plays a game where I just don't see him. He disappears. He just is nowhere to be found. I feel like I need to send out some have you seen this kitten flyers on him, bro? Like, where is this guy at? Yeah, and then there was even a couple reps, Joe, against Kentucky where he was working against a guard that I think is not even a PFA type of player on the NFL level. And I mean, he just got his soul taken. Like, I just would let someone else take Walter Nolan. That's my number one guy this year. Yes, he's very talented. Yes, he still has a chance to be a good player on the NFL level, but like, I'm good. The other one's Jalen Milroe, which I didn't know that was where you were going with this.
Dude, wow. We talked so highly of him. Seriously. Like, that's not even like a sarcastic.
He is a great athlete. He is dynamic. He has a strong arm. Everything is there. But every time I watch him, he's a player on my notebook that I keep writing. I want more, though. I want more. I want more. And I start getting worried about keeping to write that when he's putting up amazing production. Like, maybe it just isn't there. I don't know. So there's a situation and there is a scenario where I think he gets drafted to the right team and he ends up being a damn good football player on the next level. But I think I would just let someone else take that chance on him because I just think he's very scheme dependent.
Yeah, my big thing with him is that and I've said this on our show, I think he needs to go back. Like, he's not super young, but he's on the younger side in terms of eligibility. Go back. These fifth-year guys tend to succeed more, especially someone like him who he's taken strides as a decision maker, but he's not all the way there yet.
I think it's very fair. Yeah, I think that because he's a redshirt junior. He has one more year. The age threshold thing is like getting less and less in the NFL because of what happened with the COVID year, right? Like, everyone's old coming out now, so people don't care about it as much. And he's a quarterback, so they play to 35 plus routinely now. Like it's just not an age parameter thing anymore at the quarterback position. But yeah, him working with a second year with Kalen DeBoer and his system, I think that could change my opinion a little bit. But as of what I've seen today, speaking about this, there's something there that I'm just a little bit unsettled on with Jalen Milroe.
So do you think there's hope for Alan Bowman then to make a team?
Actually,
Dude,
I need to tell you guys some Alan Bowman stuff after we get off. Apparently, I can't say this on the air.
Okay. he has been one of my most frustrating because Blake. Oh, look, here's me referencing Rufino and Joshua. Me and Blake would go to battle about him. He in the preseason was like, "Oh man, this Oklahoma State team, they're bringing back so much." And my whole point was, just because you bring back an experienced team does not always mean that experience is good. When the roster was so bad last year, just because you bring back a bunch of DBs that couldn't cover anyone doesn't mean that they suddenly get good. More importantly, doesn't make Alan Bowman suddenly a good decision maker. They should bench him. They've got a younger kid who's not like a ton better, but like let him play. If you're 26, buddy, go sign up for LinkedIn. Go get the job. And I hate people that get mad when you make that joke about players. Like, oh, why are you saying that about him? He just wants to play football. No, as somebody who tried to hang on to the dream for too long, start networking. You'll get a good job. Somebody in Oklahoma is going to help you out.
Right.
Yeah. One more here for you, Ryan. Ryan Williams, NFL comp from Jamie.
I don't have one yet, Jamie. Ask me when he's draft eligible because like his body type is just very Devonta Smith right now, but I don't think the play style is Devonta Smith at all. So I don't know, man. I really don't have he plays like he's DJ Moore, but DJ Moore is like 6'210". Like it's a very different body type, right? It's like the body types don't match. So ask me when he's draft eligible, when he's hopefully like 190 something, like then maybe I'll have a better comp for you. But like the body type is really throwing me off right now for comps.
The one that I heard this couple weeks ago, Pat Forty dropped this one. He said Lynn Swan, which is a bit of a deep pull with the acrobatics that he plays with.
Does he do ballet off the field to increase his?
He plays like it.
I don't know. Modern body control king right now is like T. Higgins. His contortion ability in the NFL has been stellar. Seeing the things that he can do after the catch, like if I'm thinking of who has the best body control. It's like prime DeAndre Hopkins, and then right under is T. Higgins right now. If there was a comp for that specific aspect of Ryan Williams' game,
and that's the crazy part though is that T. Higgins is 6'4", 215, right? Where like that body type is not matched at all. It's gonna be an interesting one. I love those guys because usually my comps come from like body typing, right? And like that's where like the most comparisons usually come because usually there's like depending on body type, there could be a play strength issue, there could be a specific athletic trait that that body type has. But yeah, he's gonna be an interesting one when
I try to latch on to if they have a discerning trait that's as opposite as possible, that's usually what I go with. Haircuts is another one. I really like haircuts for for my comps. I like if a guy has a similar haircut, I will make that decision.
I don't even know what you're saying right now. I don't know.
For if I'm making a comp,
every white slot receiver is Cooper Kupp. Every white slot receiver is Cooper Kupp.
But if you don't have the same haircut, then you're not the same. Like
Ryan, they're Wes Welker before that also.
Yeah,
everyone
6'5". You're Wes Welker. Ryan, appreciate you coming on. We're gonna wrap the show up soon. I'm sure that we're gonna have you on frequently throughout the season as we're gonna.
I mean, probably not, dude. I had to ask you about this for like months in advance. And
you know what? Screw you. You're coming on every week now. All right, Ryan, appreciate it. At Rise and Draft, anything that you want to plug really quickly before we get out? You got anything publishing today? Or
you already did it for me, man. Rise and Draft. Notre Dame game this week against Stanford is going to be a barn burner, friends. It's going to be an absolute barn burner. So we've been breaking that down all week.
Yeah, guess which idiot took Notre Dame to cover 24 points?
Hey, Chester, Stanford ain't covering. It's the Fighting Irish, and we're all going to be partying.
Know the history of this rivalry.
It's 24-point cover. Roll Irish, baby.
It's a heated rivalry. There's an
I picked Notre Dame not to cover this week.
Yeah,
so.
Anyone who knows ND
but not
and
to cover.
Stanford knows not to do it. Yeah. All right, Ryan, appreciate it. We'll catch up with you.
See you guys.
All right, we're gonna get out of here in a few minutes. One segment that we kept putting off. I want to just spend a couple minutes on this. Halloween's coming up. We got invited to a Halloween party in Hoboken last night. I don't know if we're going to be able to go to it because of our homecoming trip, which we haven't really announced yet. We'll announce that eventually. I had the dumb idea we should pitch each other on Halloween costumes. Can we just do one each and then we'll get out of here?
Okay, what do you got? I got one and a backup for you in case you don't like the first one.
Okay.
All right, Mayor Rob Ford.
That's not a group. Is one of us going to go as the trash can?
Okay. I'll go as Rob Ford. You go as Giuliani.
Wait,
Rob Ford was the Toronto mayor that I think was smoking crack at one point. So I'll go as Rob Ford.
Okay, yeah,
Giuliani,
you got the build of Rob Ford,
and then we can go and really party.
Yeah, I could probably pull out the Giuliani. I actually don't hate that one. I don't think anyone's gonna understand it. That was a unique one. My idea is if we go as a sexy Mario and Luigi. So that just means we're shirtless.
Oh God, no.
We're wearing the hats.
I would rather go
jeans.
Kirby and Satan. That's what I'd rather do. I'd put on the stupid
That's
visor.
not bad. You're completely no selling the sexy Mario and Luigi.
You can't do sexy Mario and Luigi.
No shirt, the hat, and jeans.
Joe,
and boots.
I would be like, I'm like Bowser. I'm not Mario or Luigi. They're both like, even if you think Mario's a little plump, I'm like thrice as plump as Mario.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be a good group bit.
What about Nacho Libre and Esquileto? How about that? If you want to be, I'll be Nacho Libre.
No, I don't like that one. That guy's a soy boy. I don't like that one.
No, they're not. You think Nacho Libre's a soy boy?
No. His
Esquileto.
Yeah.
He said he hated orphans. Are you kidding me? You're a joke. You need to rewatch Nacho Libre. Maybe we do a little movie time this week.
Oh God, I can't believe you're no selling sexy Mario and Luigi. That was one of the best ideas that I could have had.
Maybe Wario and Waluigi. Maybe.
All right, would you do sexy Wario and Luigi?
I want to do Rob Ford and Rudy Giuliani.
What if we did sexy Nick Saban and Kirby Smart?
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll get a visor. I'll poof my hair up.
And then shirtless.
Okay.
It's just any of these costumes but shirtless. That was all the ideas that I had. I had a list, and I was just going to pitch you on. Like, the other one that I had was sexy electricians. Like, what if we just show up shirtless and we bring like a tool?
Well, my
kit.
I'll bring in a tool with me if I'm going to this party. But my default Halloween costume, I bought a Dickies jumpsuit 4 years ago.
It's a terrible hacky.
Well, no, because I went as Michael Myers, and then I went as mechanic. And then I went as mechanic again.
Joe Biden and Jimmy Carter.
When am I going to be rolling him around? Did you see poor Jimmy Carter?
But if we did sexy Joe Biden and Jimmy Carter, so I'd be in a wheelchair with no shirt on, and then you're too big to be Joe Biden.
I know I'm too big. He cycles all up and down Delaware. He's in decent shape.
Yeah. That's not a bad one.
Beavis and Butthead can't do it.
It's too boring.
Fred and Barney, it's been done. It's all right. And then I'd have to be barefoot. And actually that would work.
Ron put the most hack comment that I'm not going to put up on the screen. I do desperately want to be shirtless in public, Brendan. That's exactly what I'm getting at here.
When he runs, he's shirtless. It's how it is.
I can't do that in the cold though. It's getting too cold for that.
I'm happy for him. My buddy is now able to run shirtless. That's a good thing. We should all congratulate you. That's something I think every man should strive for. Gonna be tough for me to get shirtless going on a jog around Hoboken with all the fine ladies walking around.
Yeah, I think you'd scare her.
Don't want to scare them or their nice little dogs, because that is just an unpleasant scene.
You got any more ideas before we get out of here?
We both go as Hawk to a girl.
How do we do that?
I don't know.
Oh, the other one that I pitched you on was we go as I forgot about this, Chapel Roan, the Pink Pony Club fit, which is the. All right, let me see if I can pull it up.
I don't like Chapel Roan and how she talks to the media, so I don't want to support her on Halloween.
Forget about that.
Just being all mean to the paparazzi. They're just trying to make a living, lady.
We would be approached and asked to attend a different party if we showed up like this. Wait, where's like a good?
It'd be top right, I think.
I think that this one.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, let me share my screen really quickly. Share screen.
I don't know if we can pull this off.
I think if we both went as this with the long gloves, tall pink cowboy boots, and the pink cowboy hat, I think that we would be a hit.
I think we would be a hit. I can't find pink cowboy boots in a size 17. All right, so I'm gonna have to wear my doo-doo brown boots, and we're gonna have to make it work.
I think that the funniest part, if we pulled off that idea, is we would show up at any party or like one of those, I'm sure that we're gonna the following weekend. Because it's on a Thursday. I'm sure that Chance is probably gonna entice us to pay $50 to go to some sort of. Hey, we're gonna stand outside and
have fun.
Yeah,
the Joe DeLeone story.
We paid $50 to then pay for more drinks. I hate that shit. If I pay $50 and want my drinks,
I didn't pay for one drink that night. I had 7 drinks at that bar. It was great.
And the food also wasn't free.
You could have had a free turkey leg or free chicken wing. They were sitting there.
The point. Well, those were other people's food.
You don't know how we got down.
The funny thing though is, no matter where we go, if we showed up like that, there 1000% will be a group of girls that are dressed up in the same fit.
That would be
and we would ruin their night. We would absolutely ruin their night because they would see us and they'd be like, "You have to be kidding me! I got all excited to wear this. I'm a big Chapel Roan fan, and the two biggest, dumpiest idiots are wearing the same outfit as me."
No, you would just be pulling it off. I would be the big dumpy idiot in the pink cowboy.
No. I better not be pulling it off. If I'm pulling it off, then there's some questions.
Hey, you'll be able to put that shit on, my boy.
At Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hack City Pod. Next week's Hackbag 201-834-4308. We'll talk to you folks later. Subscribe, 5-star review, comment below. Talk to you later.